This picture shows a sign of unity among two rival football teams after a star running back takes a tough hit.
I remember getting hit waist high, and right when I got the ball, I remember getting hit there, and then that's when I dropped straight to the ground, tried to get up, but I couldn't move. I couldn't get back up.
Athens Christian senior Joshua McElhannon says he couldn't feel or move his legs. Fear came over his mom and dad.
You could have hit a pin drop. There was no sound in the stands. There was no sound on the field. It was just quiet.
Going down on the field and seeing the look on his face scared me, because so much goes through your mind. Okay, is he paralyzed? What is going on?
Earlier in the game, Joshua had scored 2 touchdowns. Now, after being tackled, he was being transported to Grady on a stretcher.
After time, when still being in the hospital, still couldn't move, I was really starting to kick in that, I might, what if I'm not able to walk again?
But hours later, he felt tingles in his legs and was able to move again.
I was really emotional for me. I was really happy. There's a lot of emotions, tears going through me.
When his coach came to visit, Joshua only wanted to know one thing. Did they win? The coach told him after he was taken to the hospital, his teammates began asking, what would Joe Mack do? And kicked into full gear.
Said they got the ball back, they drove down the field, 80-something yards and scored. And then they used a 2-point play that we've been working on all week, and we used that to score. And we're up by 3. They run the ball, then they throw it, and it ends up being an interception, and we end up winning the game.
The game jersey that had to be cut off of him hangs over his bed as a reminder that we're not promised anything.
So there's more to the game than just, X's and O's. It's, about love and family. Our motto is faith, family, football.
While doctors determined there was no head-to-head contact, he still has to go through concussion protocol, which means he will need to pass a series of mental and physical evaluations before he can go back to school or even take the field. The family wants to extend their gratitude to Athens Christian, the Landmark family, and the medical staff at Grady for all their support.
Oh, so glad that he is doing so well. Latasha, thank you.